Hi, Nick Millington here, Route Director for Network Rail in the Wales and Borders route. You can see that I'm stood out in the sun here this afternoon. I'm at Llanelli in Wales, and I thought it was about time I provided an update on what we've been up to in the route during April and May, improving your railway. Now behind me here you can see a level crossing, you can see some new signals. In my update I'll touch on that in due course. But before I do my update, I'm going to sample one of the new services that we've introduced at the recent timetable change this week. So GWR have introduced over 60 services a week through services from Carmarthen in West Wales through to London. And I'm going to sample one of those services now. So I'm going to jump on the train here at Llanelli and I'm going to jump off at Carmarthen and continue my update. So I'll see you at the other side. So I've arrived safely here in Carmarthen. You can see the new GWR service behind me there. I'll continue my update now. So I want to thank a lot of people in this update. I think it's really appropriate. So first, I'll stick with the timetable change, and I want to thank our colleagues from Capacity Planning and Timetable Planning in Milton Keynes, also Great Western Railway and Transport for Wales, our Network Rail colleagues in the control at Cardiff for the seamless integration and introduction of the new GWR service, the 60 services a week here to Carmarthen. You can see the service behind me there. In the first part of my introduction, I mentioned the new signals. That leads me on to the Port Talbot re-signalling. So last weekend, we commissioned the latest stage of the Port Talbot re-signalling. That was a major piece of work that's been in construction now for about 12 months. I want to thank colleagues from Siemens, from Network Rail, from a number of the supply chain for their work to construct, to test and commission that stage that runs through the Swansea District Line and out to Llanelli. And that will make for a more maintenance-friendly railway and a more operations-friendly railway. So thank you for what you've all done over the last few months, and obviously the culmination with the commissioning last weekend. Another thank you, another piece of progress. In late April and early May, we transferred and separated the control of the core valley lines from our control, our Network Rail control in Cardiff, and we transferred the core valley lines to the new Amey and Transport for Wales Integrated Control Centre at Taffswell. That's been a number of months and years in the making, and I'm really pleased now that the core valley lines and Amey and Transport for Wales can continue with that great project and create that South Wales metro around Cardiff. So great stuff there. So I'm coming towards the end of my update now. In my next update, I'll talk about the other projects in Wales. I'll talk about the Ebbw Vale frequency enhancement. I'll talk about the introduction of the new rolling stock. You can see the new CAF rolling stock there on driver training. And that's about it for me for now. I now travel on to Fishguard Harbour, to Clarbeston Road, where I'm looking at some gauging work for the introduction of the new stock, and down to Milford Haven. And my journey back will be with colleagues from Freight. I'll be riding on the Puma Energy service with DB Cargo and a payload of petroleum back from Wales to England. Okay, nearly time to wind up my update here from West Wales, but before I do, a couple more thank yous, if I may. So today in West Wales, you can see behind me, it's going to be a lovely sunny day. It's going to be the hottest day of the year so far, 23 degrees forecast. And we've spent a lot of time through the winter and through the early spring preparing the Wales and Borders Railway for hot weather. We ran a reliable railway in Wales and Borders last year during the very hot temperatures, but there's always more to learn. So I'm grateful to the maintenance teams and the operations team for what you've done over many months preparing the railway for summer this year. Specifically, I'd like to call out Dan Booth. Thanks, Dan, for everything you've done and the support you've given me. I really appreciate that. Also, I want to thank all of the teams, my teams across Wales and Borders, for what you've done to really focus on delivering a return to good train performance with the Network Rail delay categories. The 7Rs and your real focus on temporary speed restrictions, recruitment and much, much more have seen us have a number of months of improvement on the specific delay categories for which we take responsibility. So thank you for that. I started this week with the Network Rail Freight team. We hosted the DB Cargo periodic customer liaison meeting, the national meeting. That happened in Newport. I'm really grateful for you all coming to Wales and Borders. You're always welcome, and I'm really grateful for the visit to see the terminal at Newport Docks. So, winding up my update today, I'm just about to travel, start the long journey home. You can see a slightly unconventional way of getting home. I'm going to ride home on the Robertson tanks. They're here behind me here. DB Cargo operate about 10 services a week here from West Wales into terminals at Theale and Westerly. So for now, it's a goodbye for me here. And I'm really going to enjoy my cab ride over the Swansea District line through Cardiff and into England. I'll take particular note to look at that re-signalling work that was successfully commissioned this week. All the best. Goodbye. I always learn so much from staying close to the operational sharp end of our railway, and I'd recommend that all colleagues in the industry do the same. A huge thank you and respect must go to DB Cargo for my cab ride today, and a special thank you to Richard, Tricky Dicky and Marcus, who are my drivers on the journey.